Cleaning up for my athletes, and we're either running inside because it's extremely hot outside, or we're running inside because of the Canadian smoke from the wildfires. Let's go over some hot topics that my endurance athletes are asking me this summer. My name is Diana. I'm an endurance and strength coach. I help athletes run a variety of race distances, everything from the 5K to the ultra. I also help athletes with triathlon and their strength and conditioning programs. Go ahead and fill out that athlete interest form, and we'll set up a call with you so we can chat a little bit more about you and your goals. So let's dive in. The first question that I'm getting from a lot of my athletes is, how do I adjust my workouts for the summer heat? The first thing that I recommend is always going by your effort instead of your pace. When I prescribe workouts for my athletes, I always make sure that I give the pace, but I also give that correlated RPE, so rate of perceived exertion. A rate of perceived exertion is on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 is easy, 10 is difficult, and you want to make sure that you just go for that correlated effort rate instead of your paces based off of your workout. Number 2 is I always kind of program more like walk-run intervals for my athletes, or intervals on the bike. So that way, when we're resting between our intervals, it gives us a chance to just completely take a rest. Usually a lot of times people will jog between intervals for recovery. When it's extremely hot outside, I just recommend that my athletes kind of just walk around and stay in place, or walk around to their water bottle if they're on the track, and go ahead and get some fueling in, take your water, and get some more fueling in during your rest. It just makes the workout go a little bit smoother when it's extremely hot outside. And number 3 is we really want to bring more electrolytes and more carbs. Even on our easy runs or our easy rides, it's hot outside, that intensity is going to be a little bit higher, so we want to make sure that we're actually fueling for that. And that brings me to my 4th point, is because you're going to be playing around with that electrolyte mix and that carb mix, it's really nice if you can bring a just regular ice cold water bottle with you, so that way you can wash your palate out a little bit, or you can just take that water and just put it on your palms or on your face, so that way you can kind of use it for a cooling strategy also. And that is just very, very important for when you're on the bike. I just find that when I'm on my bike and I'm trying to take in a lot of fuel, it's just so nice to be able to wash that fuel down with water, even more so than the run for whatever reason. Second question that I've been getting from my athletes: how much sodium do I need? So how much sodium we need is going to be dependent on a couple things. It's going to be dependent on how long our run is, how intense it is, and how much you just kind of generally sweat. I highly recommend going to Featherstone Nutrition. It's featherstonenutrition.com. She's got a lot of really great free resources that you can use as athletes, a lot of just free calculators, and one of those free calculators is a sodium calculator. So I recommend going there first, and so that way you can actually get a little bit better of an educated guess as to what you need. And that brings me to my second point, is make sure you're reading your labels on your electrolyte mixes. I just want to provide one example that came up with an athlete. Is he's a cyclist and he's been using Nuun Sports Endurance hydration, which I personally like Nuun. Also, it's really easy when you're traveling because it kind of comes in these small sticks. It's carbonated, so it's fun. It's just an overall fun sport hydration drink. However, it only has 400 milligrams in it, which really is not a lot with the heat and a more intense workout. So instead of using that, you might want to seek out other options depending on how much sodium you need. I recommend Trace Minerals. I really like their electrolyte packets, and I also have been really liking the Relight from Redmond. I used the Relight when I went to Idaho, and I really liked it. That one has 800 milligrams of salt, and it comes in more of that canister scoop style, which I love the canister. I love the canister scoop style as opposed to just having a bunch of packets all the time. And that brings me to my third point is, as endurance athletes, we want to lean towards more salt. We need salt for a variety of processes in our body, but especially when you're just really trying to push the effort, push the pace, especially in the heat. So when I have bigger blocks where I'm pushing the volume or pushing the intensity, I wake up and have an electrolyte mix every morning. I just find that that's something that's extremely helpful for my overall hormone health and just my performance also. So I have 1,000 milligrams every morning, and that has just made a big difference for me. And just a general rule of thumb too is, if you're going to do a workout that's over 45 minutes, you do want to bring electrolytes with you. That is another way that you can just make sure you're getting plenty of electrolytes in. And I always say lean a little bit more towards salt for my endurance athletes, because we are a little more health conscious individuals, so we're probably not eating a lot of processed foods. And because we're not eating a lot of processed foods, our diets are just in general less salty. So we do need to be very intentional with adding salt to our foods. All right, and the last question, the number one question that I always get from everybody, especially my athletes, which I totally understand: what am I training for? Obviously, I'm training for everything all the time. I just love training. I've always been that way, even since a kid. I've always was the one who was playing like multiple sports all the time, outside all the time, and that just hasn't really changed a whole lot in adulthood, which is fun. I am here for it. I enjoy it, and that's part of my job as a coach, is to be training for something and just trying out different training methodologies and products and stuff like that. That's just par for the course, and I'm here for it. So everybody knows that I really wanted to do the half Ironman in Rockford, Illinois. I did my race simulator workout in May, and I just found that my bike setup was extremely uncomfortable. I did get a bike fit, so that was really helpful, but I just found that with the new bike fit setup, my old saddle just really it was not helpful at all. So, and I just also, at that point, it was a little bit more early spring, so I really did a lot of work on the trainer at the gym versus like on my actual bike. And since I'm a new-ish rider, I just want to have more time on the bike before I commit to a half Ironman distance. Can I do the distance? Absolutely. But could I really race it and do well? I don't know. So I just want to make sure that I can race it and actually do well, as opposed to just checking the distance off. So I will be finally doing the women's triathlon race coming up here in August. I'm excited about that. I've heard really great things about the venue. I will also be doing the Rib Mountain Trail Race. I'm very excited for that. It's up in Wausau, Wisconsin at Rib Mountain. It's a ski resort, and it is actually pretty steep for the Midwest, which is one of the reasons why I love it. And the terrain is a bit more of a rocky terrain and lots of pines. So you guys know that I just love that too. It's going to be 10.5 miles, and the elevation is just shy of 3,000. So it's pretty good. It's super fun. I did it last year, and it's definitely going to be one of those races that if I can do it every year, I totally will be doing it every year. It's just a fun race, and Iron Bowl events, they just put on really good races. So I'm excited to go for that. I do have athletes running the Madison Marathon. As a coach, I want to just spectate, but then also as a coach, my athletes do get inspired when I am also racing. So I think I'm going to lean towards actually racing that event this year. Last year I spectated, and this year I'm just feeling that a fast fall half marathon would be really fun. And I think if I keep training the way I've been training, I think I can PR, which I would be really excited to do that. I just did a mile race this past weekend. I was first overall female, which was fun, but most importantly, I dropped 15 seconds off of my mile time from last year, and I think I could have gone faster, just given a couple variables. So I do want to retest my mile in a month or so, and then transition into like half marathon mode. And then the trail race will just naturally fit in there. And then, of course, the triathlon race is coming up. So it'll just be really fun racing coming up here. And there's just so many races, especially here in Wisconsin. So I love to race. It'll be fun. I'm excited to have some stuff on the calendar. I'm probably going to throw another 5K in there too. There's some fun like evening full moon 5Ks in the area that are just really fun to just turn into training sessions. So I'll be doing that. And you guys know I just got back from my backcountry trip in Idaho. We did a 6-night, 5-day backpacking trip, and I was able to get a really nice long run in there. So I did 11.5 miles up in elevation, and that was super fun. A little bit more of a walk jog, just given the circumstances, but it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a good fitness check. And I will be going out west again in the fall. So more about that to come soon. But yeah, if you guys have specific questions that you would like me to answer during these videos, go ahead and shoot me an email, Diana@boldsummitcoaching.com. I would love to answer them for you. I'm going to turn this into kind of like a weekly series, just some of the questions that I'm getting from my athletes and covering them in videos. And I'll be doing a lot more just videos with YouTube in general. I'm excited to dive in more with that. And once again, if you guys are interested in working with us, go ahead and look at the link below for the athlete interest form. And also, ultra runners, I know you guys are out there. Bold Summit Coaching is a perfect fit for you. All my ultra athletes will be getting their endurance workouts and strength programs with their endurance workouts. So that way we can make sure that you're also getting some good work in the strength room and just getting help with that. I'm really excited to help ultra runners. I'm now ultra run certified through Run DNA. It was a really great course, a really great certification, and that certification just really solidified my interest and desire to work with more ultra runners. So we're here and we are accepting athletes this month and next month. So go ahead and fill out the form if you're interested. And until next time, happy running, guys.